22 contestants entered the manor, and this final episode kept me guessing at whether Neda would be able to pull it off or if the Faithfuls would win in the end. Nick was murdered and it didn't come as a surprise. Neda wanted him gone for a long while, but he was kept in by Kira. Also, Nick was onto Neda and would have been a thorn in Neda's side, as I don't think he would have been banished. The last mission was interesting and disturbingly unique. Karina and the producers must have felt sorry for the low prize pot, as there was a lot of money available to be won, even the money they missed out on in previous missions. I thought it was kind of cruel to get them to look through the earth on top of graves with their bare hands and not give them a tool of some sort. They won $10,000 in the first part of the mission and found $4,500 in the graves. With $14,500 accumulated in the final mission, it meant the prize pot everyone was hoping to win was now $72,000. The only question was, would Neda win it all? Or if not, who out of the Faithfuls would get to share it? One thing I thought could help Neda was the theory about the Saints and Sinners mission, which Cedric brought up at breakfast with Kevin. There was already a feeling at the time that there had to be at least one traitor in both groups, but Kira, Michael John and Neda were all in the Saints group. With Cedric and Lauren still in the game, the suspicion could fall on one of them, which would help with the theory that Lauren is a traitor. I didn't truly realise how big the bond was between Neda and Tranna until these last couple of episodes, so much that Tranna wanted to get to the end with her. Neda did well hiding that from the other traitors for so long, as others thought she wasn't really attached to anyone. There were so many conversations about being in the final two that I was trying to remember who had said what during the course of the season. Laurie and Tranna. No, Kevin and Laurie. Wait, it's Kevin and Tranna. I got it. It's Neda and Tranna. The scrambling for votes was occurring right up until the round table. I kept thinking that this last round table before the Fire of Truth shouldn't have had an even number of people. Then I remembered why we were in this situation. This was due to Gail being saved when she was placed in the cage, with the possibility of being murdered. That meant with 6 contestants leading up to the final round table, there would be 2 rounds of votes before the Fire of Truth. After Kira was banished in episode 9, I really thought the Faithfuls would win, that they would see that the only time Neda spoke up was when she found a traitor. As the round table discussions were happening, I thought my confidence in the Faithfuls was misguided. I should have known better. Still, most of the talk was about everyone except for Neda, and Neda went back to her default mode in the game by being silent at the round table. It's been noted so many times, but yet there hasn't been enough people actually looking to vote her out. Kevin being voted out first was the pivotal moment. I think what eventually happened in this episode had more of a chance of changing if Lauren was voted out first instead. Part of the problem for Kevin is that those conversations about the final 2 really came back to haunt him. I think Laurie finding out he has also had the same conversation with Tranna sealed her vote towards him. I believe if she didn't know, then she might have voted for someone else. I totally understand why it happens, but the last round table really robs the banished person from letting people know who they were in the game. It's especially harsh when it's a Faithful, because you want to let everyone who voted for you know they were wrong. In this case it was Kevin first and then Cedric, who both left silently. This is why I didn't blame Cedric for taking the money in episode 8. Him being voted out at some point in the final episode seemed inevitable. It was just a matter of when. At the Fire of Truth, the look that Lauren gave Tranna made me think Lauren might have been signalling to banish and that the traitor is Neda. She shook her head and then her eyes moved in Neda's direction. I was reading too much into it because Lauren, along with Laurie, voted to end the game, while Neda and Tranna voted to banish. With Tranna voting for Lauren voting for Laurie, and Laurie voting for Neda, it left Neda with the deciding vote. Neda voted for Laurie, but like Cedric and Kevin, Laurie wasn't allowed to say she was a Faithful, leaving the rest in a conundrum: endgame or banish. Once again, Tranna and Neda voted to banish, while Lauren voted to end the game. Neda voted for Lauren. When Tranna was talking about someone keeping her in the game, I thought she finally saw the truth. The anticipation was there. The edit really had me thinking that Neda might have been rumbled at the last hurdle, but she wasn't. It didn't matter that Lauren's vote was for Tranna. Lauren really wasn't buying anything Kevin was selling, because it seemed she didn't even give it a thought about Neda being a traitor. Like the others, Lauren wasn't able to reveal her status. Not sure why this one wasn't allowed, seeing as the game had then automatically ended. This meant that Neda won it all. Well played, Neda. Like Mike in season 1, an original traitor made it all the way to win. Seasons like this are when I wish every version had a reunion episode, to play back the game and the reactions to different elements. The others finding out that Kira and Nick are siblings. I think they robbed us of something by not having a reunion. Despite the Faithful's utter failure for most of the game, I enjoyed this season. The Faithfuls need to pick it up next time. You're down 2-0. It's been a wild but entertaining ride. I just want to know, why isn't Canada's version being picked up by the other countries that produce English-speaking versions? You're missing out.